Hello bros, Dragapult strikes again. Someone requested that I play Dragapult and here it is. I hope you enjoy it and learn something. I'm so sorry for the late upload bros because I'm sick and hopefully this video guide will help you and we reach 20 likes of this to continue this content. So first of all, the build. First build is the Muscle Band because Muscle Band is really very good to Dragapult because Dragapult relies on its basic attacks, and the next one is the Scope Lens for higher critical damage when using your Phantom Force, and the last one is the Charging Charm where while using your Phantom Force try to fill up your Charging Charm and use your Unite move in order for the Charging Charm to boost your attack. So here I'm visiting the top lane because someone is pushing at the top lane, which is very good for me to kill this one. And once you get stack of your Phantom Force, it will increase your attack damage. And also take note that you really need to reach the Dragapult's stack in order to get the maximum damage of the Phantom Force. So overall, it is really important to get the maximum stack of Phantom Force early in the game or even in the late game in order for you to have more damage and more critical hits to your opponent. So here I'm rotating at the top lane because I'm helping my top lane here because enemy is pushing too hard here. So I'm just trying to keep my distance as always. When you're playing attacker, you need to keep distance, and also when you're using Phantom Force, try to position yourself in a very good spot where enemy can't reach you or enemy can't really detect you. So if you are using your Phantom Force and you get a reset, don't use it too early. Try to see if the enemy uses moveset on your other enemy and try to bait them. And also you need to position yourself in a really good spot because once you hit the Phantom Force very early and your enemy has a moveset already in cooldown, you will die for sure. So here I'm just going to kill this, and as you've seen, the Phantom Force damage is really good, and I got 2 stock early in the game, which is a pretty good one. So here I'm level 8 and I'm trying to get the Gengar but I can't. So also take note that when you're playing Dragapult, it's either you choose the Dragon Breath or the Shadow Ball, but I prefer the Shadow Ball because it has some mobility on it. So here I did a dumb move here. I should just juke the Gardevoir, but I'm waiting for the Pikachu to stun it, but it sadly I think its moveset is cooldown, so it's my bad for that play. So here, so as I've said, it depends on you, but I prefer Shadow Ball because it has mobility, which is very good, where you can go back and go in while using it, and also it has add more damage when you get the full mark of it. So here, as you've seen, I use my Phantom Force to position myself and use it again, but I did not use it very early. And also take note that when you are using the Phantom Force, use your Unite move first in order for your Charging Charm to get full damage or stack of it. So as you've seen, I'm waiting for the enemy to use his moveset, and that's the right time where I go inside and use my Unite move. Remember, when you are using your Phantom Force, try to use your Unite move first and make sure that your Charging Charm is 100% stacked to add more damage to the opponent. And also take note that when using Phantom Force reset, do not use or show your identity very fast. Try to bait your enemy to use his movement speed, movement skill, stun move, or any other, and that's where the time you will attack. So here, as you've seen, I use my Unite move again and use my Shadow Ball to move at the sideway, and that's why it is very good when using Shadow Ball because it has some mobility or short mobility and add more damage also to the opponent. So here, as you've seen, I'm waiting for them to go inside and wait his movement skill of Espion to use. So I'm using my Dragon Force now, and that's the right time where I attack and use my Unite move again, but sadly I did not kill the Espion here. So here I will use my Phantom Force again and trying to juke the enemy and try them to bait them skills just like that bros. As you've seen, I'm trying to patiently wait for them to use their skills, and that's the right time where I use my Unite move to attack them in an off-guard position. So always take note that you don't need to use your Phantom Force very fast. Try to position yourself in an off-guard position to the enemy, and that's the right time you will show your presence. So here I'm just using my Phantom Force again and use my Unite move, and that's an easy kill for me, right? So as you've seen, you always see the pattern: Phantom Force, then Unite move. And if you get reset, try to position yourself in a very good spot where the enemy can reach you, or they use your movement skills, the abilities they have, and that's the right time you use again your Unite move. And once you get reset, just do the rest of that. Just I've told you, put that in mind that you need to take care of your position when you're using the Phantom Force and are using the Unite move. So here I'm just using my Unite move as always, and using my Shadow Ball to add more damage and mobility where I can dodge the moveset of the enemies. So here I notice the Espion here and go attack him and use my Unite move and use the Shadow Ball to move forward. So either ways, your Shadow Ball can move forward, sideward, or backward. So if the enemy will push you hard, you can use the Shadow Ball backward or forward. So here I'm waiting for the Gengar to use his moveset again, and I think I died here. Yes, I died here because Machamp's Unite move is very hurt. Very good damage where I can't move while using my Shadow Ball, even I used it backward, and I think it's my bad position for that time again. So as you've seen, I'm also learning for this for this Pokemon, because it's not my main, or I did not really use this Pokemon. But as you've seen, position really matters. Even you don't know how to use the Pokemon, at least you just have a little knowledge of it, and you have the proper positioning when you're using the attacker, you're good to go. So here I'm just farming to get my level 15 here in the game, and trying to get level 15 in the late game is very good, and I got the 10 stack already, which is pretty good at the late game. And here I'm just using my Phantom Force and waiting for them to push really hard, and I'm trying to use my skill here and use backward and Phantom Force again, and it's the right time to push and use my Unite move to Gengar, and look at that damage, and use my Phantom Force again and Unite move, and see the damage, bros. The damage is really good when you're using this build. And also take note that Phantom Force is very good ability to sneak your damage to the attackers, because it can also be an assassin to the attackers. But always be careful no matter what happens. Do not use your Phantom Force when the enemy doesn't use their skill. Take note of that. Don't pop your attack move when you're using Phantom Force. Try to position yourself very carefully. And here in the late game, as you've noticed, I'm waiting for my team to move forward, and I'm using them as a bait because I'm an attacker, of course. So here I see the Espion, which is I can 1v1 that, and thankfully I get the Unite move here. But I don't know why the enemy very fast flip here, but we broke their shield. That's very good for us. And also take note that if the enemy kills the Rayquaza, it's not time for you to lose. Just play your best and do your best to push. So if they get the Rayquaza, just try to break their shields, because it's really important to break their shields. And here we're just defending at the top lane and patiently waiting for the enemy to push, because they will push, of course. So here is my time to kill this Espion, because he already used his movement skills, these skills. That's why it's really important to watch and master also their move skills, because once you get hang and know their movement, their skills, you know how to counter them. So here I'm just waiting for them to push and using my Phantom Force again and trying to kill this Venusaur because he's out of position in the game. So I'm using my Shadow Ball backwards and use my Phantom Force and reposition again and kill this Gardevoir and reposition again, then kill this Machamp and this Gengar. So here I'm getting in the middle center because I think the enemy will push in the middle, but thankfully the Decidua is in there, so I'm just waiting to ambush this Espion here, and he already used the movement, I mean the skill, so that's the right time to attack. So if you go there and he doesn't use the skill, he will die for sure. So thank you, bros. I hope you learn and subscribe to this channel, and I hope we reach this 20 likes again. So thank you, bros, and stay hydrated as always.